being named the greatest athlete of the century, not by just one, not by two publications, over and over and over.
Everybody.
And
you have to understand, athlete of the century. You have to understand that, we have, you got Babe Ruth, you got Wayne Gretzky, you got all the greatest athletes of our generations, and he was, I mean, virtually a unanimous choice. Now, to me, and while I've followed his boxing, and I'm, like I said, was such a huge and incredible fan, I mean, the Presidential Medal of Freedom as a boxer, I think, is the thing. The United Nations Ambassador of Freedom. I mean, those transcend sport. I mean, he almost transcended his own humanity. He was so incredible. Now, I want to talk about this as well as an additional tribute. Now, what this is an American Silver Eagle. Okay, dated American Silver Eagle with Muhammad Ali, and this is to celebrate all the facets of his career and his life and everything else. I have a very limited number of these. So you're going to get the American Silver Eagle for $79.95. You also get the box for $79.95. I think we're actually sold out of the box individually because we need all the boxes for this, because these are selling very, very quickly as we speak. So you have this. Now, the one thing I want to show you is there's going to be in here 10 additional coins. And so this is your completed collection. And you'll get one per month. And you can see, I don't know if we can just show each one of these, how we're talking about as an athlete, as a sportsman, as a statesman, and each one of these as he establishes his training camp. I remember this, and guys, if you're my age, and ladies, if you're my age as well, you remember when he established his training camp in Deer Park, Pennsylvania, in PA. And I grew up, I lived at a time as a child in Pennsylvania, and at Deer Park. And before the fight, just going to Deer Park, Pennsylvania, news crews would go there and just wait for him to run by and say something. I mean, it was as big a deal. His training was as big a deal as the fight. I mean, that's how huge he was. And you have to understand, back then, news was just, you had the nightly news, and that was the news. And on that one little news broadcast, that 30 minutes you get of the news every night, if he was getting ready to fight anytime soon, he was on that. So you've got a couple of pictures there in Deer Park. You've got him fighting in many of his locales that you're going to have. There he is right there as champion. And as you can see this, the greatest of all time is what we've got as a humanitarian. And so you're going to get the one set. And let me go back to this. So there's the one coin.
So this is what's going to come first.
This is what, and once again, also 100%
Mm-hmm.
exclusive here at HSN. Okay, so you can. So you're going to get this, and you get the box right away. So you don't have to wait. I hate that when it's like the third or eighth.
Plus, you want to show it off. I mean, this is something you're going to want to display, because who isn't going to want to talk about this? Who isn't going to want to share the memories, the time of Muhammad Ali throughout all of the different aspects of his life? And to get that, I love the way it's displayed. You're going to love it too. But when I say we have a limited quantity, we have a limited quantity. And if you don't start now, then you're going to miss the first one. And that would be so unfortunate. That's why you go ahead and get this home, and then you'll have that auto ship coming once every month to complete the collection over the next...
That's right. In less than a year, you'll be finished. So the original offer, as you can see, what you're buying now for $79.95 is this, and you get the box. And then for $79.95, now remember, each one of these Silver Eagles is an American Silver Eagle, an ounce of pure silver. I have fewer than 1,000 of these. Now, of the 5-coin sets, we have already sold thousands. Okay, we've already sold thousands of the 5-coin sets. I have fewer than 1,000 of the Silver Eagle sets with the custom presentation box that you see right here. So this is your collection complete after 10 months, 10 auto ships. I want to go back to the offer that we have that's in the graphic there, which is $79.95. And so you have the American Silver Eagle, and that's Ali very, very early. That's got to be right at 1960, 61, 2, 3, something like that. It's probably pre-Sonny Liston that you see. Look at that, very, very, actually that's a little later picture. That one right there is a little later picture. Yeah, it's hard to say, but once again, it's that most recognizable face on the planet today. And that's ultimately what Ali, and I mean, I guess he was the first one-name guy. Today there's, if you watch soccer, you got Messi and you got Ronaldo. You got a lot of people that have one name. He was the first one name. He was Ali. That was it. And he was the greatest. So he was the first of the one-name guys. I guess that's just another thing that he started. He was just so recognizable, he needed no other introduction other than, and he could walk down the street. Another great story I remember this was long after he'd retired, and this had been recounted many times. There was a bunch of college students, he was up in Michigan, whose car broke down. And he drove himself everywhere he went. He had this old beat-up Rolls Royce that he used to drive. And so he just sees the people, turns right around and pulls up behind them, gets into his trunk to get his jumper cables, and sitting there, and literally people, and the story is, as people are driving down the highway, I mean, people are walking, Champ, Ali, you're the greatest, as he's trying to jump these kids' cars. Eventually, he can't get it done. He says, well, where are you going? I'll just give you a ride. And so he gives him a ride back to campus at some school in Michigan. And I mean, it's just, that's just a microcosm of his phenomenal humanity, his phenomenal giving to everybody. Now in the ring, he wasn't quite, well, he gave a lot of, hooks and straight rights. Yeah, exactly.
What's my name?
But, yeah, but the rest of that, I mean, you know, after his career, this kind of incredibly human side. And another one of the great Ali quotes, you can pick your own. He says, look, there's no shame in the boxing ring or out of getting knocked down. He said, the shame, of course, is not getting up. And I mean, that's what he did. After diagnosed with Parkinson, didn't even put a hitch in his get along. He just keeps going. So he says, okay, well, let's raise some money for Parkinson's now. Let's do this. You know, whatever it was, every obstacle just became an opportunity for him. And that's what literally made him the greatest. And so that's, and like I said, my remembrances, and everybody, you all have remembrances. How can you not have remembrances of Muhammad? Everybody knows Muhammad Ali. Everybody knows the face. Everybody knows the thing. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. There's just literally, you can go and find on the internet thousands of quotes. There's one of them, you know, it says thousands of Muhammad Ali quotes. I mean, so I guess you have to add poet to that as well. I mean, he was often called a modern day poet because of his eloquent way of taking things and making them so approachable for everybody else. Oh, look at this. There he is. That's going to Deer Park, PA. That's actually that's in Kinshasa, Zaire. That's going to the Foreman fight, is what that is. Absolutely, with all his handlers and everybody else doing that. And look at that, larger than life no matter where he went. Look at that smile, always a smile. In the ring, out of the ring, no matter what happened, always there. That's Deer Park right there. That's Deer Park, PA, doing the training. Like I said, the other quote is, I hated every minute of training, but I said, don't quit. Suffer now and live your life as a champion.
Which he did.
Which he did. I mean, words for everybody, a life for everybody, wisdom for everybody, tenacity, courage of his convictions, all of the things that you hope to be, and you hope that, and those are the things that you share, and that's what this tribute's all about. And we're able to do it in coins, and we're able to do it exclusively, we're able to do it affordably. I love all that. So you've got this right here, and once again, this is $79.95 with the box. If you choose to, and of course you can cancel the auto ship if you just want this in the box, that's fine. Right. This is what your collection will look like in less than a year, in just 10 short months. You'll have these, remember each one of these, you'll have nearly a pound of silver. Once this is done, each one of these is an ounce of pure silver on top of it. Each one of them is limited to availability only here at HSN, so you can only buy it, so you can be guaranteed that you're getting the best opportunity, the best pricing, and of course nobody wants that. So, and a tribute to one of the great, the great people we've had the pleasure of sharing this earth with.
You know, I think that every day we get up and maybe we acquire some products. We shop for this, we shop for this. This is about owning something that is not just about history. This is about some of the, if I can say this, the most historic history, okay? Does that make any sense? Because
he wasn't part of history, he just made his own history.
You know, he really did, but he was so influential in terms of the way that he touched so many things, the way that he impacted so many aspects of our lives in terms of, again, it's not just about the way that he played his sport. It's the marketing he did. It is the quotes that he did. It was the way that then he brought that humanity to a global level. There's so many aspects of it, and being able to bring that tribute in the form of something that you can tangibly hold, own, show off in your home and share with others. I think that just says so much. This is $79.95, and then you'll be on auto ship. Again, you can arrange that any way you would like to. But if you don't start now, then you will miss that opportunity to own the first one, because this is exclusive to us. Nobody else has it. You can't buy it in any other store. And this is the very first day that we're offering it. A great time to pick up. When I say the most historic of history, because this is when we talk about icons, this is one of the biggest icons in history. And that's what's so incredible about it.
The greatest.
The greatest.
Simply the greatest.
Simply the greatest.
Simply the greatest.
And everybody, as soon as you say that, everybody knows exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, that's right. You say the greatest, Muhammad Ali, or just Ali. Everybody just, it's Ali. Like I said, the first one-name guy.
And it started, I love it that it all started with a stolen bicycle.
A stolen
Somebody
bicycle.
stole his bike.
That's right. He says, I'm going to whoop him. He says, well, you better learn how to do it. And the policeman who he reported it to said, happened to train some of the local kids, and he took to it pretty quickly. I think he won his first AAU title by 1958, I think, and won the national title in '59. That's when he went to the Olympics and won the gold medal in the Rome Olympics in 1960. And then later that year, literally, he had the Summer Olympics, and then October of 1960, he had his first professional fight, which was, it was interesting. He fought some sheriff in West Virginia or something like that. It was, I mean, you know, that's the way it was boxing back then. So he took literally fighting a sheriff in West Virginia and turned boxing into literally, you know, what it is today.
So if you'd like this $79.95, we're going to put this on 2 flex payments. And again, you will get the case with it. Absolutely a beautiful way for you to not only display, but to have something that you can talk about and share those memories with everyone and share, because everyone has them.